background for a while because I thought it was nice, and I finally worked out how to do the music thing. Another little technical thing that I've discovered. So I tap myself on the back and go, well done, girl. Anyway, it's so lovely
to do a lesson.
What was that?
You might need to do a lesson, teach us how we...
Yeah, okay, I can do that too. I should have a little tool book now about how to do certain things on Zoom and going live, and anyway, still a learning thing. So anyway, welcome into the studio today. It's lovely to have you here. Those that are live on Facebook, welcome to you. It's so nice to see you here. Just make sure that you have all your goodies with you today. If you are joining me being very creative, make sure that you have some pencils. I've brought some texters into the space today as well. And I actually found, which I'm super excited about, my daughter Ella gave me these really cool, funky, sparkly texters, which have lots of glitter in them. So I'm hoping they haven't dried up because I haven't seen them for a while. They're kind of fun. They're like a smiggly textury set. And then I have also bought a candle with me today. And for those of you that have been online with me, you know that I love candles. So candles is the go today as well. I've also bought some inspirational cards with me as well, which I love to share with you, bring us some thoughts, inspirations, and all sorts of goodies. And we have Barb just joining us as well on Zoom. Welcome, Barb. Welcome into the space. I was just going through and sharing with everybody what to bring. I've also bought some magazines. If you don't have magazines, don't worry about it. You can use old paper, gift paper. You can use a newspaper if any of us have newspapers in our homes anymore. You really can just use anything. Just really go searching in your cupboards for bits and pieces that you don't use anymore. You can use old paper bags too, because that's also a great way to introduce some collaging into the space. And so while we all get ourselves settled, I just want to, the other thing, we can't go without this. We need to have a piece of paper, of course. So for those of you that prepare with me, remember to have a piece of paper and a journal as well. Some of us like journaling, like me. I've collected all my bits and pieces that I have in one book. But if you don't have that, don't worry. Just bring a piece of paper. That's totally fine too. And just get yourselves nice and settled and into the space, just relaxing and really just getting yourself settled on a nice comfortable chair like I have. I've decided to put an extra cushion under my butt today. I was feeling a little bit low in the chair. So anyway, it's really about getting comfortable and be willing to have some fun, and just let me take you on a little experience today. And who knows what kind of morning you've had. So I've certainly had a busy morning myself. So I think what we might do is we might just do a little grounding into the space and just getting yourselves really comfortable on the chair that you're sitting on, and really allowing yourself to come present in this moment. And whatever it took for you to get here, just know it was absolutely perfect, because now you made it. And you made it to join me in the studio, and who knows what went on with our morning, because a lot can happen in 5 seconds and a lot can happen in 3 hours. But you made it, and so well done. Give yourself a tap on the shoulder for giving yourself this time and this space to take care of yourself and to really be present just right now in the moment of whatever's happening. And so if it feels comfortable for you to close down your eyes and just really allow your senses to shut down for a few moments, giving yourself the space just to come back to you in however that looks or feels. Just knowing that you are held and that you are safe in this space and everything is welcome. Just knowing that the seat that you're sitting on, the ground that you're sitting on, maybe you're in the corner of an office, if you're with me live on Facebook, just know that this is perfect. And your body may not be able to sit still right now. You may have been experiencing a really busy morning, and see if you can allow yourself some space to wriggle that out. Move your hands, move your feet, move your hips, move anything that needs to move around in your body. There's this funny thing that society does that says that moving isn't okay, and moving in this space is absolutely okay. If you need to stand up in the middle of everything, then you stand up. You go with what your body needs, because we're so busy with everything outside of us that we forget that our body really loves to talk to us. And as we come back to that place of listening to our bodies, it gives us all the information we need to know about what we need in the moment. Perhaps bringing yourselves, just bring your attention down to your bellies, perhaps placing a hand on your belly, and just focusing on this space. This is your creative space. This is the space, you know, they talk about your gut instinct. This is your gut. This is your instinct. This is your knowing. And irrelevant of whether you have a womb or you don't, this is your space of creativity. This is your space of manifestation. And this is your space of just being in you. And allowing your breath to come back to this place of knowing. Just really allowing the breath, which is full of energy and magic, and it's like it is our life source, our breath. And so imagining that life source is coming all the way down through your mouth, into your throat, down your heart, and into your belly space, where our creativity will be manifested today. And really allowing yourself to have all of this right now. Maybe you've just been so busy this morning you haven't even realized that you've actually been breathing today, and that this life source has actually got you to where you are right now in this moment in time. Perhaps sharing some love from your heart space into that breath, that energy that our life source is, and giving us the space to be here. Giving ourselves some kindness, some love, some energy, some attention. Perhaps there's nobody here with you right now that can do that for you. And this is what the intention of this space is all about. It's about giving back to you, not relying on other people to give us what we need. We have what we need. We have the magic, we have the wisdom, and we have the knowing. And knowing that you are not alone in this space. And even though virtually we are meeting, energetically we are connected, and we are here in the space all together to journey through conversation and to journey into creativity and to share our wisdom and our knowledge together. Perhaps taking a hand to the paper that we're going to create on your table or on your floor, wherever your paper might be. And just taking some of that energy from your womb space, your belly, your creativity, your wisdom, and placing it onto your paper, knowing that this is what we're going to transfer here. From our wisdom, we're transferring our wisdom to manifest into something we can actually see, something we're going to create. Allowing ourselves to be open to the idea of surprise. What may come today? What wisdom am I going to create today? And maybe it's something you may never have expected. And being open to the idea that something new may come. How precious and how wonderful and how magical and how incredible you are to be able to create and to be able to have the physical ability to be able to do that. and allowing yourself some gratitude for taking the time to be here today. Taking another breath in, really feeling that life source in your body and the gratitude for yourself and for the time to be able to do this today. Taking one more breath in. Again, feeling that life source, that energy, that space around you in your body, and perhaps just take a moment to allow that energy source to emanate outside your skin. Allowing that energy, that light, to just perforate your skin and glow outside your body. Knowing that you have the capacity to expand as much as you feel. That we are all energy. And even though we sometimes feel like we're locked in skin, if we can take a moment to allow ourselves to imagine that we are just the light that comes into our body, we are the energy, that the breath that brings us. See if you can allow that to expand out of your body. Even just the tiniest little bit. Knowing that when you start to emanate that light outside your body, you are connected to everyone around you. And even though for some of us we are in lockdown, you are not alone in this space. Allowing your energy light to expand just that little bit more, and see if you can really allow it to expand out. See if you can sense that expansion in some possible way, whatever that may feel like. It may be just through one toe. It may be through your fingers. It may be out your shoulders, through the top of your crown, out of your head. Just knowing whatever little expansion you can take for yourself today will help you to connect back into your wisdom. And so with that expansion, knowing that you can touch that at any point in time with your breath, at any moment that you are not feeling connected to yourself, imagine the light expanding out. Remember to breathe into your heart space from love for yourself. Perhaps we need forgiveness today for ourselves. Forgiveness for ourselves first before we're able to forgive others. And allowing yourself to take one more breath as we bring ourselves back into the space, bringing ourselves into our creative flow and finding our tribe today. And just welcoming you back into the studio. And just knowing that that space you can connect to at any point in your life. Our breath is our source, and our breath is our connection to our bellies, to our wombs, to our creative space. You may not have come into this lifetime in a female skin, but irrelevant, you still have that creative space in your belly. It's connected to your root chakra. It's the manifester. And so what I'd like to do is to bring in our candle, welcome in this beautiful space. And if you have a candle, bring a candle present. And the candle is really about creating space for yourself, creating space in your home, your office, wherever you may be. And knowing that perhaps today it might be just the day to light the candle to you. Perhaps this practice is not about anybody else. It's about really nurturing and caring and loving yourself in this moment in time. And perhaps if you're feeling a little more expanded today, you may want to devote your candle to somebody else that is really struggling right now. For me today, I'm going to be devoting this candle to a beautiful young woman that passed this week. She was very young, and she was a dear friend of my son's. And that some people just are not meant to be here right now. And so I want to honor her spirit. I want to honor her spirit, that every human being should be honored in their life. And that no one is alone, and that I hope that no one feels alone in the way that she must have felt. And so I want to honor the depths of people's journeys today. And I feel like finding your tribe is a very big key to not being alone, and to finding the people that truly, truly, truly resonate with you in your life. And I guess part of my work is about really empowering people to speak even just a few words. And by speaking, it allows people such empowerment within themselves and be able to ask for help when they need it. And that sometimes is not an easy place to be. And so in honor of her voice and in honor of her life, I light this candle and I devote this practice to her today. And so in honor of her and all of us that gather together in this space of finding our tribe, I have brought today together our medicine cards. And so if you have inspiration cards, bring them present. And I love to shuffle these cards. I love it, brings intention into the space. And perhaps there's a message for all of us today. There's a message for all of us. And perhaps you are looking for a message yourself. You're looking for a sign for something. You're wanting to create something in your world. Or maybe you're just ready to shed something. You just had enough of that and you're just ready to move on. So let's bring these beautiful cards into the space. These are actually David's cards. And so thank you, David. These are cards that we have in our home and we love these cards. And so, okay. So let's see who's brought us a message today. All right. So our message today is from the Crow. And if you have inspiration cards with you, please unmute yourself. So I found the Crow, number 24. Let's see what messages number 24, the Crow, has for us. Crow, are you craving? Are you coring so I may know the secrets of balance within my soul? Or are you sending your sacred core just to remind me of universal laws? And so the Crow, there's 3 pages here which I'm not going to read today. But I will remember the Crow looks at the world with first one eye and then the other cross-eyed. In the Mayan culture, cross-eyeds had the privilege and the duty of looking into the future. You must put aside your fear of being a voice in the wildness and the call that shoots as you see them. As you learn to allow your personal integrity to be your guide, your sense of feeling alone will vanish. Your personal will can then emerge so that you will stand in your truth. The prime path of true crow people says to be mindful of your opinions and actions. Be willing to walk your talk, speak your truth, know your life's mission, and balance past, present, and future in the now. Shapeshift that old reality and become your future self. Allow the bending of physical laws to aid in creating the shape-shifted world of peace. So that is our message for today. Do you have any inspiration cards there? Anybody would like to share something? And what I will do is I'll put the card up on under the chat today once the live has gone up onto Facebook, and I'll put the full description up there as well for you so you can see that. Oh, everybody's got cards today. Wow, I love this. Amanda, you've unmuted yourself. So does it say Goddess of Creation? Oh, wow.
Yes, I know. How weird.
How gorgeous.
Goddess of Creation, Transformation, Creativity and Wholeness, which is card number 7 from the Gaia Oracle card book by Tony Carmine Salerno.
Gorgeous.
I like his cards. Okay, let me just quickly, there won't be 3 pages of words. So this says it's time for you to chill out and let go of rigid and fixed ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Relax and take time out just to be. You've really been trying too hard lately and taking things far too seriously. And this has blocked your creativity and caused your energy levels to be low. You're probably telling yourself that if you don't make time to relax, you must make the time. So make it a priority and you will find that an interesting transformation takes place and that your creativity will increase and you will feel revitalized by a new sense of purpose and inspiration. So there's just an affirmation on the other side of the page, which is, I take time each day to relax. I make time each day to nurture my spirit. I connect spiritually to a space of love inside my heart. I find peace within. I am light. I am love.
Gorgeous. Beautiful. Would you take a photo of that for us and pop it up under the post when it goes up?
Of course.
Thank you. That's a beautiful message. That's divine.
Isn't it?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing that present.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Barb, did you have something? What was your card? I couldn't read it properly.
You and me both, Bridgie. I can't find my glasses.
Oh, no.
So I know it says 5 of air because they're the great big letters at the top.
5 of air, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Are they unicorns? Yes.
They are. So they're unicorns. So it's the angel tarot cards of Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine's. And I've got no idea what the words say, but I'm really not interested. I just like those pictures of unicorns.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, maybe David's offering his glasses to you.
Oh, thank you, David.
You had them last night, Barb, so it must have been in somewhere between one place and another.
Oh, they are. I had them, actually, I've just checked. I did have them hanging off my jumper a little while ago. And then I was brushing my teeth. They're probably in the bathroom.
Well, if you would you pop that under the post later?
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. I love that card. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah,
I've got no idea
so
what the words are, and I've got no idea. I did try and look at what the book says, but I've got nothing.
You can hold it up against the camera if you want. I can read it if you want to know the word. Yeah, I definitely think so. Up a bit higher. A universal Oh, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation and review everyone's. I can't read the last one. Something.
That was so funny seeing everyone come into the
I
script.
know.
I was going to get my 7-year-old granddaughter to come in and read Granny's cards for her, but I thought, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, actually, Maxie, can you come over here and read this for Granny?
Yeah, she'll read it for you. I was going to say the fairy must be around somewhere to help you.
Yep. No, just read it to Granny.
I don't know what it is. What it says, Granny. But do you have any additions for the sink?
Yeah, I do. What does this word here say?
Please.
What's it say?
Please. I can't even say it.
Motives.
Motives, okay.
So it's a warning card, Bridget.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a warning card. Yeah. Interesting.
Granny, may I take that?
Yep. She's coming to get the dishes for the dishwasher. She
Oh,
does not want to be involved in
helping
Zoom.
us. So thank you for helping us. That's so cute. Thank you. Thank you, Barb. That's great. Thank you for bringing that in.
It's a bit of comedy for you all.
Yeah. Annie, did you have a card?
Yeah, I had a few.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Anything you'd like to bring present?
perfect. Thank you, Max.
To me, there is no difference whether president, beggar, or king. Right?
Interesting.
Well, there's no difference, actually.
No.
I don't care how many zeros you got in your bank account. Same.
Yeah.
Take a leap of faith. Take risks. It will work. It will all work out perfectly. And be gentle with yourself. We all have fears and insecurities. It is what makes us human beings.
Perfect.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I didn't get a card, but I got a story.
All right. Tell us.
Who's the guru that's got the big white beard that laughs and his whole body shakes? What's his name?
Sanguru.
Sanguru.
That guru.
1:42 this morning, I was watching a video of his because I couldn't sleep, and he was talking about education and his daughter. And Annie, what your card just came up with about the king and the pauper, etc., it was about that. And as his daughter was being, until she was 4, she drove around with him everywhere in the car, just being part of the journey that he was on. And he never differentiated between any of that. And she met thousands of people, and actually by the age of 4 knew more than 1,000 adults by name. And so she had this very interesting life upbringing. But she ended up going to school because he wanted her to become affiliated with kids of her own age. But he said to the headmaster, you don't have to teach her anything. Just make sure she's fed and that she's having fun and playing, because the rest of the education will just happen. And when she was 15, she came to her father and said, why is it that you've got disciples and you've got people all around the world that you're teaching them, but you've not taught me anything? And his response to her was, you should never look up to me and you should never look down to me. You should just look at me as I am, and you should just look at people as they are. And so it was a perfect segue from that card to that. There's no difference between people, and we just have to see them as they are. And so for, Brigitte, your tribute to our past friend, just to see and acknowledge as they are is a beautiful thing. So yeah, it's an emotional day already. So that's my card. See?
Thank you. That's gorgeous.
My hand.
Yeah. That's very beautiful. I've had an interesting conversation already about how we create these ideas in our minds of people, and if we're just able to somehow or other just see you just be with what is with them, rather than having this idea of what they, and sometimes it's a very unconscious thing that we have these idealized ideas of people. And yeah, it was that was a conversation that I've had. So it's very interesting, and I feel like it leads right into where we're heading, which is about finding your tribe. It's about, so I'll read the piece so that we can bring it into the space. It says, find your tribe. You know, the ones that make you feel the most you, the ones that lift you up and help you remember who you really are, the ones that remind you that a blip in the road is just that, a blip. They are the ones that when you walk out of a room, they make you feel like a better person than when you walked in. They are the ones that even if you don't see them face to face as often as you'd like, you see them heart to heart. You know that kind of tribe. Who's your tribe? And I was very drawn to this piece. I'm a lover of community, so that's definitely one of my very core values. I love community, and to be surrounded with people that hold in a particular way, that are able to be with me and be by my side, yeah, and walk together no matter what happens in life. And sometimes that changes, the roads part and then they come back together again, but that real true heart to heart connection is a very special thing. And so what I would like to do is to adventure into this, and I'd like to adventure into it in two parts. So the first part is the beginning of the piece, which says, you know, the ones that make you feel the most you, the ones that lift you up and help you remember who you really are, the ones that remind you that a blip in the road is just that, a blip. They are the ones that when you walk out of a room, they make you feel like a better person than when you walked in. And so I guess some questions that have came from that, it's like, so how does somebody make you feel the most you? And, you know, sometimes when we're in our own situations, our own journeys, somebody saying to you, what's just a blip in the road, that's sometimes not an easy thing to hear when we're in a blip in our road, because sometimes those blips can be really freaking huge blips. They feel like Kilimanjaro. They're not just like a little bump in the road. And so how do those people that are your tribe, you know, impart that information to you in the most heartfelt and humble way, in honor of you and where you are in your place? And so I really wanted to bring that into our conversation and talk about that. And so I wondered what your thoughts and reflections are on this part of the piece. And, you know, they are the ones that when you walk out of a room, they make you feel like a better person than when you walked in. So what is that? What is it that those people in your tribe reflect back to you that you feel more of yourself?
But isn't that just it, Bridge? That they are reflecting back to you something that's in you.
Yeah.
So that you are in a safe space where you're able to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps you went into that room forgetting what you would see when you looked in the mirror, and then you were in the room with your tribe,
mm-hmm.
and you're able to see the reflection, your reflection.
Yes. I feel like that's a really, yeah, I mean, I guess our own, well, we're all going to have those different experiences, and they are like, I guess they are our mirror, aren't they? What do they show back to us? What do they reflect to us? That in the most respectful and respectful is not the right word, just in the true honor of who you are, really.
Well, is it authenticity? So, you know, they're authentically reflecting back in their own authenticity. You're able to see the reflection, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, Annie, great.
Even though I've been hearing this for a long time, that, you know, the other person reflects or whatever, I don't consciously think of that. I think it's acceptance of each other for exactly who you are, with all your idiosyncrasies, and that's still lovable about the person, and it doesn't annoy you and bug you and anything like that. And I mean, I've got two of my best friends on this call, so hey, this is a great subject for me. Knowing when I see you guys, I walk away feeling like a giant.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. Thank you.
You still bug me though.
You bug me too.
These two have a bugging thing going on.
Yeah. You know, the thing is that there's such safety in the relationship, because we can really tell each other, like, you know, some people say, Jesus, that's a telling off, but it's not taken as a telling off, because they know, we all know that it comes from a real place of love.
Yeah.
Right. So there's such safety in it. And also, if you know, we bug each other, we can say, well, you know, you actually just pissed me off right now. Right. The bug. Yeah. Okay.
The bugs.
I was going to kill a bug.
So that is such, and you know, I heard that back in 2013, in May 2013, from Robert Kiyosaki, who came into Blair. Blair is our trainer, our mentor, and he came as a guest, and very different individuals. One is just, one is very humble and quiet. The other one is just loud. But they're best friends. So, and he said, amongst, I can't remember what else he said, but I remember this one. He goes, your best friends are those that bring the best out in you, and they lock you in a room because they know you should not get out, something like that, right? So when they used to do their training and they would get pissed off and they go, that's it, I'm done, I'm leaving, the other ones would go stand in front of the door and go, no, you're not. Because they want you to be the best you can be. They're not going to let you get away with it. And they are the best friends. And it was such a foreign concept for me back then. I couldn't understand it, but I sure do now. And I know it and I feel it. Yeah.
Well, I love the way, you know, there's really like a beautiful marriage between what Barb has shared and what you've shared, Annie. It's kind of really all connected in everything. And I think part of the acceptance also, and part of what Barb was sharing about the reflection, is that it's really being in that place of lovingly witnessing. It's in the witnessing of our friendships and our connections, and it's in that witnessing and not wanting or having our friend to be or in a particular place. It's just being accepting about where they are and honouring their place in wherever they are, and not projecting my needs onto them because of whatever, but it's more just that beautiful holding space.
Yeah.
Amanda, did you want to share anything in that?
No, I don't think so. I think when I'm at my worst and I'm rambling on about it, I'm just witnessed, and you know, I come away feeling that it was okay to feel the way that I did. And it is just in the holding of that space with actually not having to say anything to you at times, just being able to express yourself fully.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that sacred space of just knowing that it's okay.
Yeah, and I think over the years, you know, when you're a parent, you're so quick to give advice and want to fix people's, or come up with a solution of some kind, when in fact all you need to do is listen. And so that's been quite a huge learning curve for me, especially in the last few years, is just to listen.
Beautiful. It's like that Ganesh, you know, those Ganesh ears, and the part of the myth behind Ganesh's ears is that he listens. He's really able to do that real, what they call active listening, that attentive listening. And, you know, when I think about tribe, I think about that, you know, that really being attentive in that way, that people have the space to be in whatever they're in. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that. David, did you want to share anything?
No.
Okay, very good. Wonderful. So we'll move on then.
We're all clear.
We're all clear, yeah. So the next...
I could share so much about tribe, but I just, you know, it's already half an hour gone in the call, and it wouldn't stop. So I've just gone and invited somebody else to the call. I've sent him the Zoom link because we were talking about tribe just earlier on today. So hopefully he'll come on.
Good, thank you.
In New York, we'll wait and see.
Gorgeous, thank you for doing that. So I mean, you're welcome to share if you would like. Maybe you want to hear this next piece, and then we can. So the next pieces, they are the ones that even if you don't see them face to face as often as you'd like, you see them heart to heart. You know that kind of tribe. Who's your tribe? And so I feel like that sort of really, you know, the heart to heart is, the heart to heart really is part of it. You know, it's that real heart connection. And I wanted to kind of really, my mind started to get very curious, and so I did a bit of, I wanted to have a play around, do a bit of a research, and so, you know, I found these pieces. I found the basis of every human society, from the most primitive to the most modern, is the family. It is existing in all cultures and among all the groups of people. In all human societies, the smallest groups on the basis of ties of kinship are known as families, so family, tribe. And then, so one of the oldest tribes is the Sentinelese, have been widely described as a Stone Age tribe, with some reports claiming they have lived in isolation for over 60,000 years. But Pandya theorizes that really the Sentinelese arose either from the deliberate or more recent migration from drifting off the little Andanaman. So, you know, I think tribes just wandered and really, you know, they lived in these small communities, and today's society isn't like that. Where in my world anyway, it's not where I live. But you know, what I feel is really emerging now is this reactivation of communities, this reactivation of tribes, this reactivation of wanting to be in community, to create together, this togetherness, this unity that's really is being called for. And the more people I speak to, the more people I come across, the more there's this calling to be a part of something again. And I feel like there's been such an isolation in societies. And I know that there are people out there that do live in communities, but I feel like in urban life, there is more of a calling for that. And somehow or other, I feel like isolation and this whole experience has really almost erupted that calling even more. So, you know, the other piece that I found was a social group comprising numerous families, clans or generations, together with slaves, dependents or adopted strangers, a political division of Roman people originally representing one of the 3 regional tribes of ancient Rome. So I just found all these little bits and pieces that I thought would be interesting to add in the space. So I wondered if you had any reflections on that, something you'd like to share, something you'd like to add in.
Bridget, talking when you isolate the words in there, the words that speak to you, talking about tribe and finding our tribe, and when you mention the words heart to heart, I met a woman in Western Australia when I was living in Western Australia 10 years ago or so, and Deb's one of those salt of the earth type girls, lives in a very humble abode, and has homeschooled the kids and, like, you know, wanders around with, I don't think she owns any shoes, or she might have a pair of shoes for going out, but I'm not sure. And Deb and I became very close very quickly, even though we are polar apart in lots of ways. But it was quite funny. Deb has no social media, no mobile phone, and we just connect. She'll randomly ring me from a landline occasionally. So this last week, across my social media, you probably have noticed that I'm allowing some of my vulnerabilities to actually show. Mm-hmm. Deb rings randomly last night, and as I'm answering the call, I think, how do you know? How do you know exactly? And that you are the person I feel safest with to have this conversation. But how did you know that I need you? I've put all those signs out on social media, perhaps, and have had some beautiful little interactions in the background as well as some visible ones. But how did you know? And that's when you feel that heart to heart. You know, when we connect face to face, we can just sit wherever and talk for hours, you know, without thinking to eat or drink or whatever. It's just that beautiful connection. Mm-hmm. And you know that she's the other half of you. She's like the mirror. And we met on the side of a road. Her car had broken down. We met on the side of a road. So we didn't even meet, you know, how sometimes you do meet a kindred spirit in a course that you're doing together and da-da-da-da. We met on the side of a road.
Of course you did.
Yep. Yep.
There are no mistakes, right, Barb?
No, none whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Divine intervention always to play.
Yep.
Beautiful
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. So, you know, over and over I kept saying, how do you know? But then I know, you know, when it's the same if I think to ring her, it's always the same. I was just thinking about you. Yep, I know.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Yeah, and that really is talking about that real connection, that soul connection that we have with people. And you know, I have friends that live interstate. I hardly ever see them, but when I see them, it's just magical. It's just that moment of just knowing, you know, there are just people in our world that we have that. So, you know, that's truly beautiful. And that's what I feel this piece is really talking about, that heart to heart connection, that soul connection that we have with people. And, you know, that you might only ever have an interaction with somebody once, but there's something in that interaction that really threads you together. And you may see that person maybe once or twice over a long period of time, but there's this beautiful, really incredible thread that has woven you together. And that's really what community is about. It's about these beautiful threads that weave us together. And even though we may not see each other for periods of time, it's really about knowing that those threads are there and really trusting that beautiful space with them. So is there anything that anybody else would like to share in the space before we head into our creativity?
The concept of tribe is so important in life, as you said, Brigitte, that sorry, I'll focus on what I'm saying. this time, which is an anomaly in the world, it hasn't happened since the early 1900s, since the last pandemic, but now tribes are coming together in ways that have never been able to come together again. Social media, there's 5 people now, and this will hopefully go out to hundreds, if not thousands of people online later on, which finds people that are, yes, looking for tribe, but 2 are already in a tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, I've just had messages, I was just responding to a message from somebody in Malaysia that I met in 2014 and I haven't seen since, but we're connected. As she says, there's those threads or common experience or love, or it might come from adversity, or it might come from being in pressure, or it might come from being lonely. Whatever it is, there are still connections that are out there that intertwine you. And how many of you have actually been somewhere on the other side of the world and you meet somebody that you've met before somewhere else in the world? Now, I've had that experience probably half a dozen times, and it doesn't surprise me. I expect it to happen because that's part of the magic that's woven, and I really, really love that. And that's what part of being part of a tribe is. And Bridgie, you and I don't know if anyone else in this crowd in this tribe here are Jewish as well, but we're part of an ancient tribe. We're all part of ancient tribes. And it's funny that it's got that word, tribe. I don't know what it actually, if I'm just now, I'm working on it. And if we try and be, there's 2 words in that. Just be is a really, just being. It comes down to, I don't know who mentioned before, authenticity, if it was Barb or if it was Amanda. There's just try and be who you are, or just be. And it's really, there you go, there's my post for tonight.
I'd say that's probably your next book, but we won't talk about that today.
There you go. I'd better write that down.
Yeah, get to it, mate.
Yeah. We're waiting on that book. All right, beautiful people. So let's adventure finding our tribe together. So let's enter into our creativity and bring all your bits and pieces. I don't know what you've got with you. You may have texters, pens, whatever it is you have with you. Let's just jump into it. And I also suggested online that you bring some magazines. Now, you can use those if you want. You don't have to. The offering was to really to use it as a base, like in collaging. Like some of the other pieces we've done, we've put a base of collaging underneath an image that we have. Now, you don't have to do that. This is really, this creative space is really about doing what you feel is good for you. And that's what the inspiration about these sessions is. You do how you want to do you. And so I can make you hundreds of suggestions, but you don't have to do that. So the invitation today is to really consider coming back to you. And how I would like you to begin is to, if you don't have magazines and you don't have paper, that's completely fine. What I would love you to do is start to consider yourself first, you in the center of your tribe. And I've drawn something just as a suggestion here. And can you see? So this is you in the center, and this is your tribe around you. Now, this is just an invitation. You don't have to do it like me, but what I feel is very important in this is that it comes back to you first. So start with yourself in the center of however you want to create, and then work with your tribe around you. And let's just begin there for a couple of minutes. Just begin actually putting yourself on the paper. And what I'd like you to do is to just really take a moment to really honor yourself in this process. And I'm just going to turn my video on so you can see what I'm creating here. And in honoring yourself, however you create, just really trust that. That's what this is about. And in trusting yourself, what happens then is you really begin to open up spaces within yourself that allow other things to create. So I have bought magazines. I'm actually not going to use them today. I was going to, but I'm not going to. So now I just want you to notice what happened just then. I actually was going to use magazines and I've decided not to. Now, I could just continue on and use my magazines because that's what I suggested today, but I'm trusting myself here in going, no, I'm not going to do that today. I'm actually going to trust what I need to do for myself here. And so what I would love you to do, and you can create a base if you want with your paper. And if you're not choosing to do that, if you don't find an image that resonates with you to use on your base, that's okay. Just really trust that. And bring yourself into the center of the paper as you in the center of your tribe. There is a beautiful post that I've seen quite a number of times out on Facebook. It's about a tribe, and it talks about how when somebody does something that is not necessarily in line of their true essence, the tribe gathers them together and they put them in the center of a circle. And they reflect back to them their words of love and compassion and understanding of that person. And rather than belittling that person for the things that is considered to be wrong or out of line, what they're doing is actually reflecting back the true essence of that person. And that's what this exercise is really all about. So bring yourself into the center of the paper, however that might look. And really trust that. You may have a circle, you may have a heart, you may have a diamond, you could have any particular shape in the center of your circle, and really trust that this is what you want to be doing. And this is you. This is the authentic you going into the center of the circle. And you might notice when you're creating with me regularly, you may actually find that you have a slight theme going on in some of your pictures. It's a very interesting to start notice if you're keeping your imagery. So I'm going to play with these textas that I've found. I'm hoping that some of them will work. Let's just see what happens. So I'm going to create, as you can see in the center of my paper. Yeah, this one's dried up, so I'm not sure which ones are going to be working. We'll see. I might get lucky. There we go. So I've created an image in the center, and this is me. And now what I want you to do is to create your tribe around you. And it might be a shape, it might be it could be anything. You just trust yourself what those shapes are going to be. And just knowing that wherever your hand wants to take you today, just really trust that this is absolutely perfect. And you may actually create something you didn't expect, which can often happen in this space. And this is not an art lesson. This is really about allowing your hand to do whatever it needs to do to create this tribe for yourself. And trusting the colors that come. How is that music for you? Is it too loud?
That's okay.
And sometimes I put music on and it's just a lovely, it's actually just great. It actually activates some sensory things too. So we're using our ears and we're using our hands, we're using color, we're using texture. So all these things help to activate our creativity, and also is great to help with integration as well. And once you have your tribe around you, what I would like you to do is just to begin to consider the qualities of the tribe around you. What are the qualities you would love in your tribe? And perhaps, who is it that's in the center of the tribe? It's you. What are you emanating? What do you feel? But perhaps you might want to write some words. You might want to use some colors to emanate or to create that sense of what are the qualities in your tribe. And you may just want to use words. You might want to use love. Some of these may reflect your own personal values. But whatever it is, just really trust your hand and trust your knowing, and trust that whatever you're bringing into this space is absolutely perfect. And just allow the color to flow. It may surprise you in some shape or form. Just to allow and be with the surprise of what is coming. This is the joy of this type of creating. This is not about me saying, well, you have to do this color and that color. This is really about you giving yourself space to create in a way that you may not normally create. I've actually bought some glitter with me today.
I'm coming to your place next time.
Oh, you know you're welcome anytime.
I know that.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that, eventually once things sort of settle down a bit, these sessions can actually be on Zoom and live as well. People can come and join me here in the studio. And so what are you noticing as you're creating your tribe? What are you noticing? What are you noticing in your body? And just really allow that space to really grow. And just trust your words, trust your sensing, trust your knowing. And so I'm actually using my glitter. I'm having a bit of fun with the glitter here today. And my center is me, and I've made it all glittery. So I've got some gorgeous pink glitter, which I love.
I want some too.
I can share it. I'll share it through the screen to you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll just smile at you.
Okay,
I'm done.
you're done. And so just allow, oh, wow. David, would you like to share something about that?
You're such an artist.
Yeah, I started off just doing dots. I didn't understand why or how or what it was. And I started off with a red circle in the middle, which turned into a heart of dots. And then I started emanating out the dots in between. And the light was coming from in between. And there's a diamond, which is basically, it's something which Annie mentioned, Robert, before as well. But this is the Bucky concept of a tetrahedron.
Yes.
There's an inside and an outside, and everything's connected. But the four main points are, spirit, emotional, physical, and I forget. Mine's gone blank. But none of the tribe are solid. None of the pieces in the tribe are solid because they're all interconnected and they can all flow. It's all energy. It's just
beautiful.
flowing. But then I started by having this thing that was the red, and it turned into a spider. I don't know why. But then you said to put some words in, so I said spread the web of love and light. And at the top there's a massive diamond. I've only got 3 colours here, so I've used all the primaries. They're all blending to make everything.
Yeah. Wow.
That's it. So
Yes.
shining and spreading.
Yeah. And how does that feel to create that? Like, what do you notice in yourself about what you've created?
There's it's just energy. It's all good energy. I had a 45-minute conversation with somebody earlier on, which I thought was going to be 4 minutes. And how many of you have had that experience in the last 6 weeks of life where you think that something's just going to be a minute and it turns into an hour? That's one of the joys of the beauty of the time, I think, because we've got time to be able to enable that to occur. And,
Yes. Yes.
The flowing that came out of that conversation, that's beautiful. Who's Denise, love?
Oh, that's me.
Where'd Barb come from? Another story, another day.
It is another story, yes. So that was supposed to be an egg in the centre, Bridgie.
Yes.
Or then it was supposed to be perhaps, I don't know, I could see a baby in utero, but there was no way I was going to try and draw that. So, but then from the egg just sat there for a long time and the feathers turned up. These are feathers. So the feathers turned up, and then some words needed to be written on the feathers.
Oh, yes, there's words there. Yes, I can see now.
There's words in the feathers.
Yes.
And
then the heart turned up. So I think the heart is the expansion of the tribe, I think.
Gorgeous.
But I'm not sure. I think, maybe feathers, tribe. I don't know where they came from. But today I thought but I will be Googling how to draw a proper feather later.
The feathers look like feathers, so.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
actually,
they
that's
do.
what I'm pleased about.
Yeah.
When I actually said in reflection, it looks much clearer than what I'm looking at here. I think like when I say it on the screen, I kind of look at it and think, oh yeah, they're feathers.
And that's the thing. It's like what's really important here, it's actually not about our interpretation. It's about how you interpret your piece. And if they look like feathers, because that's what you're wanting to create, then they're feathers. It's like it's really beautiful reflection of our own piece. And you've got some words there, Barbie. Are you happy to share the words? Because we couldn't see those.
Well, they're probably not even written very well because remember, I'm not using my glasses. So it does say connection, values, strength, and heart. There's 2 gaps left for other words that might come into my head later.
Gorgeous.
But yeah, I'm happy I'm done playing with this right now.
Yeah.
But I've got everything out to play some more with it later.
Yeah. And that is the invitation. I talk about that a lot, about, you know, leave the piece out if you don't feel complete, leave it out, and leave your textures out. Like, you know, really allow yourself some space to keep working with this, and allow it, because often, like, I'm still not finished here. I'm often going for some time afterwards just to really allow some space for this. And it may be a couple of days before you come back to it. You know, leave it up on your altar if you have an altar at home, or somewhere that's just easy enough for you to leave and just journey with for a bit. And I know, and the beauty is being able to keep these pieces. You can go back to them and you can keep revisiting them, and could even want to possibly do the process again if you're in a space where that's something that you're called to do. So thank you for sharing that. That's really gorgeous. Thank you. I'm
going to raid the kids' craft box because I know there's glitter in there.
Gorgeous.
You showed us last week.
I do have glitter in this room, but remember that's on the altar for the fairies to fix up
fairy
COVID. So I can't use that, but I will steal some of their glitter. I think they've got glitter glue. That's going to be really impressive.
Well, what I'm hoping to do, and I talked about this last week, what I'm hoping to do is to start, you know, this is a call out to people. If you have things that would contribute to our creative space, please private message me on the post, tag a friend that might have a product that might contribute to our creative space. Please share this and allow this out so that more and more people can touch this space. So if you have friends that have things that you feel may contribute, it might be inspiration cards, it might be candles, it could be all sorts of things that could contribute into this space. Please tag a friend that might have something that might be interested in contributing this into this space, so that this space can really become a communal space. And that's what this is really all about. It's about creating community and connecting people and allowing people to experiencing more of people in the community. So yes, tag away. If you have a friend that has a candle company, tag her in on the post. If you have a friend that has inspiration cards that she's making, tag her in the post. I would love to hear from these people. Absolutely. Please. And is there anything anybody else would like to share? We're going to close in a couple of minutes. So anything else that anybody would like to share about their piece, about their experience?
I'm good.
Annie, did you want to contribute anything, or are you okay?
I'm actually playing at the moment with my with a photo of mine. I have an idea, but what I did is I got like that paper.
Yes.
And I want to print a photo of myself, and then I've got all these pictures.
Yes.
Of bees.
Oh.
And butterflies.
Oh.
Yes.
My tribe are all bees. They all changed the lives of people, and they all turned into butterflies through their journey.
Gorgeous.
And they keep contributing to others.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Thank you for sharing that. Well, please put a photo up afterwards. I would love to see what it's going to look like. You know, we contribute to each other by contributing our pieces, and we learn from each other and we get inspiration from each other. And Amanda, was there anything you wanted to pop in the space before we leave? Oh.
Wow.
Gorgeous. Awesome. You're muted. Is there anything? Oh, there you are. Is that you in the center?
Yes, it was me in the center. So it's still work in progress. I haven't finished yet.
Yes, gorgeous. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bob, this is not on Facebook yet, so the recording, I'll get you to put put up afterwards so people can find it after.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to close now. We're already very late, but it doesn't matter. So what I would like to do is just to thank you all so much for joining me today. It was such a pleasure. And, you know, it was a real honor to have you all in the space to create with you. You know, really what we've done is we're creating a tribe here, and, you know, people that are like-minded, that have similar values and that want to share in this space. And so once I put this up, please pop your bits and pieces up. I'd love to show your cards as well. So I will possibly tag you when it goes up, because for some reason we were having trouble connecting with Facebook Live today. And so, yes, pop up your pieces, and I will be back here next Thursday. David and I are heading into, I think Annie's actually going to be there too. We're heading into Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins this weekend. So we are on a big roller coaster ride this weekend, but it's going to be really fun, really interesting, and who knows what's going to be manifested over the weekend. So I look forward to sharing more of that next Thursday with you. If you can't watch me live during the day, I post these up every week and they go up, so please feel free to watch them at any time. I know, Amanda, you said that you're often working on Thursdays, but it's always there live, so feel free to join any time. And I'm glad you were here. And
yeah, I was really glad to be able to be here today, so thank you. But I do work every Thursday, so
yeah,
You can have next Thursday
it was
off.
lovely to have you in the space.
Thank
Really
you
lovely.
for having me.
I'll give you next Thursday off, Amanda.
Oh, thank you. And pay my wage.
Yeah. So look out, everybody. I'm about to launch a new full moon circle in the next couple of days. We're going to be mandala making in our next full moon time circle, so that's going to be really super cool. And look out for those of you that don't know anything about women's circles. I will be posting up an information evening, so that'll be going up too this week. So I look forward to seeing you all next week. Much love to you all. I want to bring our candle in just before we close, just in honor of the beautiful souls that are not able to be with us today, to the beautiful souls that have left this earth in the last few days. And in much honor of all of them, of all of you, and just best wishes to you all. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves, and just be good to yourselves, hey? And speak out, please. If you need help, please speak out. Much love to you all. Take care. I'll see you all next week, next Thursday. I look forward to creating. Much love to you all.
Everyone hold up your page and we'll take a photo.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Hopefully I got it. Bye all.
Okay, thank you so
Bye,
much.
thanks. See you.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Have a great week.
Thank you, you too.